Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my June/Read Your Gaze Readathon TBR. So since it's Pride Month and I try to take part in a readathon every month, I decided to look for like a Pride-themed readathon, and I found a couple, but the one I decided to take part in is the Read Your Gaze Readathon because it's only a week long, and I don't feel like doing a month-long readathon for a little bit. This readathon takes place June 3rd to the 10th, and it's hosted by Boston Books, and I'll leave a link to their channel and their announcement video down below. I'll talk about the books that I'm trying to read for the readathon first, and then I have some other books I want to get read during the rest of the month, because I will try and carry over some of the books that I don't accomplish during the readathon into the rest of the month, but then I have other books that I want to read, if that made sense. I hope it did. So let's get into the challenges for the readathon. There's a challenge for every color of the rainbow. The first challenge is red, which is to read a book featuring a lesbian main character. I will be reading Tell Me Again How a Crush Should Feel by Sarah Farzan. This is about a Persian girl who is coming to terms with her feelings for another girl. It's like a YA contemporary and it sounds really good. I've read a short story by Sarah Farzan and was recommended another one of her books by one of you in the comments, and then this book was on sale, so I bought this instead because I'm really good at taking direction. The next challenge is orange, which is to read a book with a gay main character. So for this, I will be reading The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. This has been on a couple TBRs. I got this from Book of the Month, I think in 2017, yeah. This is set in a world, I guess. I don't know, it's set in kind of like our world, but it's about two boys who were trained as spies, and in their training, they're trained as kind of stereotypical love interests, hence the title. So one of them is like a stereotypical bad boy, and one of them is a stereotypical nice guy, and basically at the end of their training they have to go and try and like woo like their target or whatever, and whoever the girl doesn't choose gets killed. But then things get complicated when the two guys realize that they might have feelings for each other. The challenge for yellow is to read a book with a bisexual main character. I will be reading It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Segura. This is left over from last month's TBR. I was going to read it for the Asian readathon, but I didn't get to it, so I just pushed it over. And I said the synopsis in the last TBR I did, so. The green challenge is to read a book with a trans plus main character, which means anything under the LGBTQIA plus spectrum that's not filled with the other challenges. I will be reading Symptoms of Being Human by Jeff Garvin. This is about a teenager named Riley who sometimes feels like a girl and sometimes feels like a boy. This is not Own Voices, and it's about them coming to terms with it. I don't know if they're coming to terms with it or just dealing with how they can navigate society that way. The challenge for blue is a free space, so any kind of representation you're free to read. So I will be reading This Is Kind of an Epic Love Story by Kaysen Callender. This has gay representation. It follows a main character named Nathan who's been playing it safe to avoid a broken heart since his father passed away, but then things get shaken up when his childhood best friend comes back into his life, who he kind of sort of had a crush on. And yeah, it sounds really fun and sweet and kind of like heartwarming and hopefully not too sad. I assume it does deal with grief since his dad did die. And the last challenge is purple, which is to read the group book. The group book is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This I feel like has taken at least book Twitter by storm, if not booktube. I actually don't think I will be completing this challenge just because I'm currently on the hold list for the book at the library, and I think it says 10 weeks. So yeah, it's probably not gonna get read. But this is about a teenager named Ben who comes out to their parents as non-binary, and they end up getting kicked out of their house. So they go to live with their estranged sister and her husband, and it's also about them like forming a friendship / relationship, I think, with someone they get closer to at school. Now for the other books on my TBR. First, I have an ARC that I was sent through Bookish First in exchange for an honest review. This actually comes out in June, so I probably won't read it before release date. It doesn't say the date exactly. I'll like put it on the screen maybe, or leave it down below or something. But yeah, this is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. The brief synopsis is that this is about a woman who's a private investigator, and she is investigating a murder at the magical school that her sister works at. So there's like magic and wizards and stuff, I think. The back says everyone has a secret, murder, mystery, madness, magic. What are you hiding? And I'm excited to read this. Next, I will be reading The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This book won the poll from my video of where I went over the top 10 series that I needed to read according to myself 4 years ago. So yeah, I went through all the books that I said in that original video, and then I decided to leave it up to you guys to decide what series I would continue or start, and you guys decided it would be The Raven Cycle, and so I will be continuing with The Dream Thieves. This one is a sequel, so there's not a whole lot I can tell you. There's not a whole lot I know. I think I'm going to try and read this physically. I don't know, I think I might get more out of it reading this series physically, but we'll see what happens. Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Rachel Marie Book Junkie is hosting a read-along for this whole trilogy. The third one I think comes out in August or September, I'm not sure. But she's doing like a read-along up to the last book, which comes out I think in August, Dark Dawn. I decided I wanted to take part in it. What better time to read the trilogy than the present? This is definitely pretty popular on BookTube, but it does sound right up my alley. This is about a girl named Mia Corvair who joins a school of assassins in order to take revenge on the people who like ruined her family, like destroyed her family, you know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it sounds really interesting, and apparently it has like a little bit of alternate formatting with like footnotes and stuff, which I personally think I will love, because when I was younger I used to love books like that, like things where the author talks to you and stuff. I love that. Another arc I have to read is Please Send Help by Gabby Dunn and Allison Raskin. This is the second book in their I Hate Everyone But You series. It's a sequel to their first book, which was called I Hate Everyone But You, and this basically follows the girls right after college, I think. There are two main characters who are best friends, and the book is like them communicating over emails and text messages and things. And the first book followed them during their first semester of college, and I think this is like right after they graduate or something. I think that's when it takes place. And yeah, it sounds fun. I enjoyed the first book, and so when I saw this on NetGalley, I requested it and the publisher gave it to me. So yeah, thanks to NetGalley, and I think this is published by Wednesday Books. If it's not, then I'll cut that out. Next, I have 4 books that I'm going to read, but I'm not going to tell you the synopsis of any of them because they're the last 4 books in a series, and that series is A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. So I'm trying to read the last 4 books in A Series of Unfortunate Events because I've been trying to watch this series on Netflix and read along at the same time, but I took a break in May because it's really not happy, as you may guess by the title. So I decided I need a break, but this month I'm going back full force. The audiobooks should take me like 2 hours each. They're like 4 hours long, and then I listen at 2 times speed, sometimes faster. So hopefully this isn't too ambitious, but we'll see. The last 4 books are The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and The End. So I'm trying to read all those in June. Will it happen? Maybe not, but we'll see. And lastly, for this TBR, we have my random picks, which is when I use a random number generator to choose 3 books off of my Goodreads TBR, and then I pick one of them to read that month. And then this is completely coincidental, actually, but the first random pick I have is This Is Kind of an Epic Love Story by Kaysen Callender. So this is the one I'm going to read since it was already on my TBR. I always choose my random picks last, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because then I could use them to fulfill challenges, but that's what I do. Maybe I'll start choosing them first. But anyway, yeah, so it already fits. My second random pick was My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. This one is like a retelling of Lady Jane Grey, I think, who was like the Queen of England, I want to say, for like 10 days or 14 days or something, and then the king, whichever king it was, I don't remember, had her beheaded. And it's supposed to be like her story, but like retold, and it's supposed to be really funny. So hopefully I will get to this eventually, but probably not in June. And the last random pick I had was Murder Most Unladylike, a Wells and Wong mystery by Robin Stevens. I remember, I think someone on BookTube like mentioned this. I want to say it was like Maddie and B, and yeah, it seemed really interesting. I used to love mysteries when I was younger, so I just started to add more mysteries to my TBR to like maybe get back into that, but again, probably won't be reading it in June. And yeah, so if you want to take part in my random picks, leave a comment down below with a number between 1 and 440. I'll use those numbers to try and find books that are available to me for me to read. And yeah, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions on any of the books that I mentioned in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or also let me know what you are going to be reading in June. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already so you can be notified every time I post a video. And what else is there? I think that's it for my outro. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.